Hey Sarah, hey Corey, this is Jessica with Peterson SEO. Thank you for speaking with me and accepting this free video. I noticed you guys have both PCAM and Express plumbing, and both are kind of in the exact same situation. So I'm more than happy to do another one of these videos if you'd like one specifically for PCAM. But for the purposes of this video, I will mostly be talking about Express plumbing, okay? So we're going to go over just a few things that you guys can apply right away to these sites that is going to help you organically bring in more and more customers each and every month, okay? But it all starts with the Google search. So um, you guys have a couple different service areas. We'll do the Boise area for right now. But most people start with a Google search when they need a service, especially in an emergency. They're searching the keywords and questions related to the issue that they're facing. Um, they're not going to be looking up your brand name or looking for your business. They will be searching these terms. So it is the business's responsibility to be in front of the customers when they're searching so that you can have those jobs. Now, there are three positions on Google's first page that a business can own, meaning being at the top of. Okay, the first is going to be your ads. Those are both the Google cost per click ads as well as local service ads. But generally, only about 10% of people actually click through with the ads. One of the most important spots is the Google My Business profile, the Google Map Pack. Now, I did see that you guys do have one for each of these locations. Um, one in Meridian and in Kirkland. But you're only listed under plumber. So you definitely, since you guys are doing restoration, you also need to optimize these for the services that you're actually offering. And when I did look, you guys are buried in these locations. So it's going to be really, really important that you get this optimized because 30% of people come straight to the map pack and don't go anywhere else. And so when you're not in the top three for your businesses, for each of your services in your service area, you're leaving tons of money on the table. You're sending all of those jobs to your competition. Now, there are several factors that go into ranking and getting in the top three, and this area is also very fluid, continuously moving. So it's not something you just want to set up and forget about it. You have to be optimizing this every single month. But one of the top things that's going to get you in the top three is something called citations, which are essentially directory listings. So you're going to list the name of your business, your address, your phone number, and website in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Glassdoor, Yelp, and things like that. So you need more of those than your competitors. Generally, the top three competitors have at least 150 of those. And seeing that you guys are buried, you guys probably only have maybe 30 to 50 or less. So you definitely need to work on those citations to give you that boost. And then make sure you're optimizing it every single month. New Q&As, new photos, and updates, okay? Now, the most critical area that your websites need to be listed is in this organic section because nearly 60 to 70% of people skip everything and go right here. So this is the opportunity for your website to show up, not just your homepage, but your service pages when people are searching for your service. Now, in order to do that, your website has to be properly optimized and built out. Right now for Boise, your top competitor is going to be Apex Restoration. And in the Seattle area, that is going to be Fisher Restoration. So let's start with your website. Now you guys have a nice, clean looking website. Your website is secure. I like that you have these click to call phone numbers for your locations, which is good. I like that you have separate pages for each of your services. But what I did notice is they're generic links. So this is just restoration services for water restoration, and fire restoration says restoration services copy. So even your links that you're using for the pages matter when it comes to your on-page SEO and being able to rank and have people find you. So not only do you need your own separate pages, but the pages need to be structured properly. It has to have its own content, original content, and the content needs to be focused around your local keywords. So when I say content, what do I mean by that? So content are your photos, videos. Let's see, how's this saved here? See how this says adjusted image for homepage? So that is not an optimized photo. It doesn't have any keywords with it. You want to optimize all photos and videos to have your keywords and alt information that has your keywords and business information. Content is also written content. And Google needs this content to know what you guys are about, what you guys offer, so that they can put you in front of your customers. Okay, so when you don't have the proper content, they have no idea. The bot doesn't know what they're looking at. So it's really, really important that your content be built out to not just describe your business, but your services. So you need to have keyword rich content on your page. Your homepage is by far the most important page. So it really should have a summary of each of your services and be focused around local keywords, the keywords people are actively searching for your service. So here you might have Boise water damage restoration, Boise sink repair, or whatever it is that you guys are wanting to target. But you need to have those, and you need to have the right repetition, and you need at least 150 words for every keyword you're targeting. So you do need a good amount of content. Rule of thumb is generally at least 1,500 words on the homepage. And so you want to make sure that you're optimizing not just your homepage, but all these service pages and your links. And because you service multiple areas, you also need to have separate service area pages and service pages. So you need ones for Seattle and Kirkland and Meridian, Boise, all of that for each of these services, which is going to allow you to build content around those keywords for that area so people can find you in each of those communities to help them when they need your help. So that's going to be really, really important for you guys. If we look at your top competitor in Boise, we have Apex Restoration. It's an okay website. They have the separate service pages. They have the separate service area pages, which allows them to build out their content and target these areas. You're also going to notice that they have the click to call at top and a form. I always recommend having these as close to the top as possible because they're going to help with conversions. Nobody's going to scroll through a page to try and figure out how to contact you. Okay, so if you're not making it easy for them, they're going to bounce and go somewhere else. So make sure you have calls to action towards the top and throughout your page on every page. These guys don't have a whole lot of content. They should have a lot more. But they are beating you because of the amount of pages and the content, and that they're actually going towards some of the keywords. So to beat these guys, which is very doable, you're going to have to do better. You're going to have more content and really focus on that keyword strategy. But when it comes to Seattle, Fisher Restoration is going to be a lot more challenging. They also have separate service pages, separate service area pages. If you click into there, you'll see all the different pages that they have. They got a ton of content that's really focused around their keywords, which is allowing them to be indexed for each of their services in all of the communities that they serve. They have this great FAQ section, which also helps when people are using devices like Siri and looking for help. Now, this is a program called Ahrefs, which helps us to understand how a website is performing. As you can see here, you guys have a domain rating, that's your website as a whole, of 0.7 out of 100 in Google's trust flow, meaning Google does not trust your website. Part of that has to do with the quality of the website and the content, but majority has to do with your backlinks and referring domains. This is the power. This is what helps give you guys authority. And helps Google boost you guys up in the rankings. Now, you don't want just any backlink. This is a popularity contest. It needs to be relevant. You don't want to be linked to a bakery. You want to be linked to other home-based services. Okay. Now, a referring domain is any website that provides your website with a link from their site to your site. And the backlink is that physical link. It's the hyperlink that you might see when you're looking on pages and you click and it takes you somewhere else, right? Now, if you think of this like your favorite power tool, how do you turn on that power tool? It needs power. So you're going to plug that into your power source, and then the plug is going to go from the power source to your tool, and it's going to turn it on. That is exactly what's happening with your websites. Because of the lack of content and structure, you've only been indexed for 18 keywords, and you're only getting about 20 people on average to your website. And when we look at the keywords, you're not ranking for anything except for Xpress plumbing in Boise, and that's at the very bottom. So all of your money words, all your service words, you guys are just buried. So you definitely need to work on your local keyword strategy and content. If we look at Apex, they still have a low profile here because they have really spammy links going to them. But because of the content and pages, they're able to be indexed for more keywords. They're getting over 200 people to their website in the Boise area. And when we look at Fisher, you can see that they have a much higher rating. They've got more backlinks, and so you need to do better, right? You got to have better than they're doing. And they've got a ton of pages and content, so they've been indexed for over 460 keywords, and they're getting over 600 people on average to their website in the Seattle area. So if we look at their keywords, you can see that they are positioned in the top spots for all of the relative keywords. So are these guys beatable? Yes, but it's going to take a lot of work to get there. Okay, so you got to be doing better than they're doing. Hopefully you found this video to be very helpful. Like I said, if you want me to do another one for the other website, I'm more than happy to do that. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. You can either reply to my email, shoot me a text, or give me a call. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you guys soon.